What up, dude?
You know, just living the dream with my SM57 microphone that Mike Michael sent me so I sound better when I do this stuff. That's all.
You do sound better.
As
Quite amazing.
As opposed to Axl Rose after 16 cigarettes and a bottle of Jack and singing for 5 hours. Right?
Yeah, he never did have quite the speaking voice that you do.
Yeah.
He actually has a wider range than Mariah Carey, believe it or not. He has a 6-octave range.
That's not surprising because some of the shit he pulls off, or used to be able to pull off, I don't think he can pull that shit off anymore. But
no, but the one thing that I'll give him credit for is he doesn't really try. Like, you know, he either has the band play in a different key, or you know, he leaves that to background singers or whatever. Honestly, they don't sound that bad.
No, they don't. Jake and I saw them before the Guns N' Roses original lineup got back together.
Oh, with DJ and
and then
Bumblefoot
at the fucking Celebrity Theater. Okay.
Ooh, nice.
Or the Dodge Theater. One of the two, or the Dodge Theater. Yeah, dude, it's fucking amazing.
Must have been the Dodge Theater.
And legit showed up 5 minutes late. That's it. Show started.
Yeah,
at
they
9.
said that he starts on time nowadays.
Yeah. And that was back then. And then we saw him. I saw him with the original lineup, and you know, it's what I expect from a singer who uses his throat for more than anything. You know, he doesn't use his diaphragm very much. He's a lot of throat. So it's what I expected from a guy who's been singing through his throat for the years he's been singing, if that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely.
So, you know.
But he sounds better than Vince Neil.
Oh, fuck yeah. Jesus, man. I saw something the other day on Vince Neil that, like, somebody was trying to interpret what he was saying on stage. It's so bad. It's just I don't want to talk about him. I don't want to give him the time of day. He was good when he was good, but he's just not good anymore, and it's kind of a drag because
when I saw them on the Dr. Feelgood tour, they were you would not have wanted to go on after them. That's how good they
absolutely not. That's in their heyday, man. Yeah.
They were amazing.
That's when they were on fire for sure, in fuego.
But, you know, Mick had a lot to do with that. We've talked about that. He's one of the baddest riff writers on the planet, and he's got such a great guitar tone and, you know, just catchy songs.
Yeah, and Nicky can write songs like nobody's business, so let me try and get myself a little more centered. There we go.
Now you're center of attention.
Now I'm centered and dark. Centered and dark. Centered and dark, man.
I'm working on the lighting in here.
It's one of those things like when we had Dean on the show, because I was in the kitchen, I have all the lights in the ceiling, but this, I don't, actually I do have a light in the ceiling. Hold on. Let's see what that does. Oh, hey. There you go, Mama K. You happy now?
Did she complain you were in the dark?
Well, no, you told me before. She was like, I can't see his face. He's dark. He's always so dark.
Yeah, I get complaints about mine too, saying I'm too dark. But I'm working on the lighting in here. This is a temporary setup, ladies and gentlemen. We will not be seeing this forever. So,
right. It's all about the rock and roll Gucci Goo. So, hey, let's talk about gambling today because, you know.
First off, I will.
Okay, cool.
Did you see the Tyson fight?
I did see the Tyson fight.
We got to talk about that first.
Okay, we can talk about that first. So we had the problems that everybody else in the world had. That
everybody did.
Right.
Yes.
So we saw the chicks fight before him pretty much uninterrupted.
Which was the best of any of it.
Right. That was by far the best fight of the night. Those two went toe to toe and blow to blow like nobody's business. It's kind of like The skinny little dudes, the 130 pounders and 40 pounders and the 150 pound guys, they just fight. They just wail on each other, right? Like Oscar De La Hoya and Floyd Mayweather and those dudes. You know,
a lot of action.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I don't think she purposely headbutted, because that's the thing going around now. Is the chick from Ireland, she was cheating by headbutting. The replays that I saw from the headbutting, it was incidental. She was coming inside and lifting her head up. It's gonna fucking happen. Headbutts are a part of boxing. They always have been and always will be. It's just
you're saying it was an incidental headbutt.
I think so. I don't think she was purposely hitting Serrano in the head, and they said she did it multiple times. I only recall it happening once, and then they replayed it, and they found 2 occasions. But again, it wasn't a headbutt. It was a coming inside, going up, trying to go up and deliver a shot. And men headbutt all the time.
She's punching so hard, her momentum carried her into.
Yeah.
That's what I saw too.
Yeah, male boxers headbutt all the time, and it's always incidental. It's never on purpose. Now, I will say, I don't remember what fight it was. I think it was that fight. That Soriano chick, she tried to throw an elbow, and that was painfully obvious, because when she led this way. For those of you who aren't watching this, I'm leading with my elbow. She led with her elbow to the head, and the chick from Ireland, she got out of the way because she wasn't going to get hit in the head with an elbow. So I don't buy the bullshit that she got headbutts like crazy and she's suspended, because then all they were doing after the fight, which I'm sure you remember, was just talking shit about the chick who won. Well,
right.
But you knew what you're going into when you chose to fight her. So if she's a southpaw, it happens a lot more southpaws than it does with the traditional boxers. You knew that she has a history of coming inside. You knew she has a history of colliding with heads, whether it's on purpose or not. I just don't think it's on purpose on a grand scheme of things, because you can hurt yourself just as much as you can hurt the other fighter.
Agreed. I don't think any of it was. I'll agree the elbow. I mean, It's going to be pretty hard to say that wasn't intentional when, it'd be the same thing like you said. If she grabbed the other girl and pulled her towards her and smacked her head into her, okay, then we have a problem, right?
Right.
But she was throwing a punch in both instances.
Yeah. That's called
no
UFC.
matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what, that was the best fight of the night.
It was, absolutely, bar none. And just, I think it was the second time they fought, which was kind of cool. I didn't know that. But again, she fought her before, and there was headbutting before, again, because southpaw was trying to get inside. That was the thing that threw me with the Tyson fight. After the first or second round, he stopped chasing Paul down.
So here's what I have to say about the Tyson fight.
Right on.
If we would have known up front that there was all these stipulations going into it, then it's all on the up and up for everybody, right?
Correct.
But I didn't know any of those stipulations until my dad told me, sitting there having breakfast the next day, and I said, oh, I didn't know any of this. And he started laughing, and he says, well, nobody did. I just found out this morning myself,
Yeah.
So
Joe Rogan had a show about it, right?
I don't know. I'm like way behind on Rogan. I'm still in 2015. But the thing that irritates me is now we know 1,000,000% it was rigged. It was a money grab. Granted, nobody paid for anything.
Nope.
And thank God, because fucking Netflix sucked. They weren't ready for a live broadcast, right?
Nope.
So if that gives you an appreciation for one thing, for the people that are listening, you should appreciate the fact that broadcast, like standard television,
traditional broadcasting,
it's a big deal. It's not
deal.
easy to do.
It's a huge deal.
They make it look super easy, and Netflix just proved that you have to have your shit together when everybody wants to watch the same thing at the same time.
Yeah, because there's a buddy of mine we talked about yesterday. His sister didn't have an issue at all. Like the whole night she watched the whole thing.
But she was in the minority, man.
Right.
I have the baddest internet money
you do.
to buy.
Yeah.
You have as close to the baddest internet as money can buy. Elon's is the real deal, right?
Yeah, but there's still glitches. Like this morning, I was waiting for Go Get Little Man to come over and check an email and Facebook and stuff on my phone, and everything froze up. I had to switch. There's two channels for whatever reason.
Okay.
But I had to switch it, which you shouldn't have to switch it if it's a powerful thing. But I get it.
So
yeah.
At least you're owning up to it and saying occasionally there's little tiny problems. I'm here to tell you, I've had fiber optics since probably going on 6 or 7 weeks.
Yeah, it's been that long.
It just fucking cruises, dude. It has no problems. There's no such thing as buffering. That's a thing of the past. It's it works. It wants to work. It works. Weather doesn't affect it.
Nice.
It's just amazing, and I couldn't watch the fight either. So
yeah.
It was Netflix. Their servers were not prepared. Get your fucking shit together. You keep raising my prices since 2003. I was an original Netflix send me DVDs in the mail subscriber. So
yeah.
I've been around a time or two.
Yeah.
I went from paying like $3.99 a month to whatever we're paying now, which is ridiculous when you try and do something like that. And Rogan's live comedy podcast had similar problems, but not as many people watched it. So it finally evened itself out after about 15 minutes.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But it had issues too.
Sure.
So that was, those were the two main things that I wanted to say about the Tyson fight was it was 100% fucking rigged, a money grab for both guys.
Yeah.
I think Tyson, if it was on the up and up, eventually would have knocked him out. The guy fucking punches between 1,500 and 1,800 PSI. How many times can your face take that?
Well, and if you looked at it, if you looked at the replay, because I've seen some replay and stuff of it, Tyson knocked Jake Paul. It was Jake Paul in the first or second round, like hit him, and Jake Paul and then Tyson let up. And then the biting of the glove. I've watched Tyson since Tyson began fighting. Tyson never bites his glove. I don't care who the fuck they're trying to fool, right? They're saying that's a tell. Tyson just bites his glove. Fuck you. He's never bitten his glove, man. Ever. So the conspiracy right now is Tyson's biting his glove and he's telling Jake what to do. That's what they're saying, and then some stuff because he brings his hands up and he bites his glove, but while he's biting it, it's like, hey Jake, I see you, and throw a right hook, throw a left hook, throw an uppercut. so then Tyson knew how to dodge it. There was one replay where Jake Paul hit him with the right hand. Tyson, you fucking saw it coming. Like you can't tell me he didn't see it come, especially if you watch all the footage of him training and how fast he is and how quick he is, because he's still fast. He still has the speed. He obviously still has the punching power when he connects. So there's going to be a gap there because Paul was 27 and Tyson's 58. So you're going to have some skill drop off.
But Tyson hardly ever even threw any fucking punches.
18 punches landed total, which just is not like Tyson at all.
Right.
I'm
saying the fix was in, man.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not doubting that wasn't fixed because part of it was the beginning of the fight. It talked about all the bets, like knockout each boxer, and if it went to the 8 rounds, everybody was losing money. Like it legit said it. It was negative money on both on the 8th round if either fighter went.
But Tyson was making $20 million if he made it to the 8th round, right?
Right. But if you bet on it.
Agreed.
It was losing money for both. It said it on the thing. They dropped it down. It was losing money. Yeah. The gate alone in Dallas was $20 million. So I think that they charged to get inside Dallas AT&T Stadium.
Oh, of course they did. Because
Jerry was there and he was very happy because 80,000 people generated $20 million. So that was obviously Tyson's take and plus all the other shit. And it's I don't know.
It was a money grab.
It was a money grab. Which is disappointing.
I don't want to say everyone's expense because, we pay for Netflix anyway, but it was just a joke, man. I guess that's what sucks. It was cool that the chick fight was, that was the best fight of the night for sure.
Yeah, from the undercards that I saw, because we saw bits and pieces of them. The undercards were decent. They weren't shit at all, but if Tyson hadn't had Don King, Tyson would have had a lot more money in the bank than he does. Because it wasn't until, I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Oscar De La Hoya, in my mind, was the first boxer that started doing his own promotions from Golden Boy Productions.
Yeah.
And then Mayweather followed, obviously, and fucking Mayweather took himself to the stratosphere with money.
I would agree with that being from the same generation you are.
Okay.
I can't remember anybody before that.
I don't either. And it just sucks because, I mean, it's good in a sense because now you don't have Don Kings anymore. Because Don King raped Tyson of all his money and all the kind of shit and was just a yes man to Tyson, never kept him in check. I think Tyson's career would have been a lot. He still would have been successful, but I don't think he would have lost to Buster Douglas. Because he would have taken it a lot more seriously than he did. And he's admitted before cocaine and hookers the night before because he's fucking Mike Tyson. But part of that, I think, is nobody told Tyson no. When Customano died, there was nobody telling Tyson no.
Hey, there's you got a chat question in here.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't mean I was listening to you, but I saw two chats in here and somebody was asking a question. But I don't have my glasses on. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Chris can probably read it.
I'm trying to see what it is. Whoops.
If you click on where it says live stream chat.
It says somebody says hi daddy.
Oh, well, I don't have any kids, but hello.
And no, I don't have any kids either. And then somebody says, I have a question.
Okay.
And it's a wise scammer is the player. So I think we're being duped with nonsense.
Oh, well, okay. Goodbye then.
Yeah. We just want to acknowledge either one of those, which, hey, we're getting spammed. What the fuck? You've made it when you got spammed on a podcast. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Yeah, hi, Daddy.
Thanks for. Yeah, I don't have any kids. That's where I'm at. Only a couple people. Well, yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
I did promote the conversation we had last week about the mail off. The item that you get in the mail. So maybe
the women's implement.
Yeah, so maybe somebody's picking up on that, saying, "Hey, Daddy." I don't know. Crazy shit. So let's teach Chris how to gamble. Since we've talked about the fixes because here's the thing, man. I've been playing I've been playing fantasy football. I'm not a big fantasy football guy, but I got a buddy of mine that says, "Hey, man, you should do this." A couple of years ago, so I did it, and I continued to do it. So this year, I'm actually doing really good. Except my dumbass, I didn't start. I started the wrong quarterback this weekend, meaning I started Russell Wilson, and that completely fucked me over. That was the difference in my game.
Russell did not have a good week.
No, and I had Baker Mayfield and Anthony Richardson started. I think he got benched for a while, so I was like, well, fuck it, I need to dump him. And then when I dumped him, he comes out yesterday and fucking just goes lights out. I'm like, okay, thanks, dude. So, but we've talked about it all season long about gambling and stuff, and so definitely would like to know what's what when it comes to that, because I know, I mean, I'm not going to drop thousands of dollars because I worked hard for my money, but I definitely want to do a little bit of something just to see, what's what.
Okay, so I've been sitting here kind of brainstorming, which is why I wanted to talk about Tyson.
Okay.
How I would teach somebody from the get-go who's never done sports betting. And okay. I guess you just hit rule number one. First off, any gambling, and this goes for anybody who's listening. Notes.
Yeah.
I've been gambling for a long time, ladies and gentlemen, whether that's good or bad. Like I said, I've never been married. I don't have any kids. If anybody's going to get hurt, it's going to be me all the time. So yes. I'm a big boy. I can take it.
So but this is gambling 101.
Okay. But I have learned some lessons along the way, which Chris just very eloquently put. Don't ever put up any more money than you're willing to lose. That's rule number one, right? That just goes without saying. You're not stupid. But for those of you who are out there listening, don't ever think that, I lost $10, so now I'm going to bet 25 so I make more than, that doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way.
as soon as you're gambling on emotion, you'll start losing and you make stupid decisions, and you want to be of sound mind and not have money that you're willing to lose.
So don't do cocaine before gambling.
That's really good advice.
Before gambling. Okay. No
really
cocaine
good
before
advice.
gambling.
I would put that in your notes.
I did. No cocaine before gambling. Gotcha.
Chris has never done cocaine, so I don't have a lot of faith that he's ever going to, but it's always
but
advice.
I wanted to put it down because you never know. You never know.
And actually, that's tomorrow. A good one. Unless you have a lot of self-control, don't gamble when you're all fucked up. Let me give you one example, super quick.
Okay.
They would not give booze for free away in Vegas if it was not effective.
This is why when I go to Vegas, I win because I don't drink and everybody else does.
That has a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not a big drinker, and I'm a fairly good gambler when we're playing table games. So, so rule number one is going to be you have to find a betting service, right? If we're going to do sports betting, we have to find a betting service.
I thought that was rule number 3 because number 1 was don't bet more than you want to lose, and don't do cocaine before you bet.
Chris is going to keep track of the rules, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just giving out the knowledge.
Find a betting platform.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. So I am going to send you, when we get done, I'm going to send you a link.
Okay.
And this will be the site you're going to sign up for, and you will get $100 for free, and I will get $100 for free. So
outstanding.
So if you deposit $100, you're going to double your money right off the bat.
That's fantastic. Right on. Cool.
So we're going to start there. And for those of you out there, if you're curious, it's betmgm.com.
Metro Golden Mirror, the movie studio from Hollywood.
Also a massive owner in the casino market and one of the places that people go to for their lines on all professional sports, Caesars Entertainment and MGM. The reason that I chose it is because that's what my dad's been using, and I didn't really use it and wasn't familiar with it, but I just recently realized that him and I had never got our free $100 because he brought it up one day. And I said, oh, of course, absolutely. Yeah. So we did that.
Yeah, there you go.
I like this site a lot better because they have better odds.
Okay.
And they give better promotions. So that's why we're going to use that.
Okay.
So let's say, what do we got coming up?
Let's before we talk about a specific game, I want to understand like there's money lines. There's you just go on points, you just go on win-loss. So let's go off that. Like the Tyson Paul fight, right? They had a money line and they had, knockout, and go the distance and then win or loss. So because I think for the basic,
we're gonna keep it super simple for the 101, right?
So let's go win versus loss. What's the dealio with that?
We're gonna talk about 3 things in the 101. We're gonna talk about the spread.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the over-under.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about winning or losing, just like you said.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Yep.
So if you look at a professional sports game, and I got it pulled up on my phone here, we'll just talk the Cavaliers and the Celtics because it's the first thing that came up. I do not recommend betting on the NBA. It's a good way to lose money, ladies and gentlemen.
Because they're all in the fix, man.
There's a lot of it. 2 NBA referees absolutely went to prison. You can look it up, Google the story, do the research for yourself. But I'm going to use it because it popped up on my phone.
Point shaving is real, America.
No question.
Just like Tyson and Paul fight was rigged.
There's too much money on the line for everyone. But there are ways to make money. So,
absolutely.
The first thing that they list on the left is the spread.
The spread, okay.
The spread, in layman's terms, is just a way to make the game even so people will gamble on it, and it will make a lot of sense when we get to what they call the money line, which is the win or lose line, right?
It's a way to make the game even?
Yes. So here's an example.
Okay.
The Cavaliers aren't that big of an underdog, but let's say they were. We're going to exaggerate these numbers.
Okay.
So the Celtics are a 6.5 point favorite.
Okay.
Let's say they were a 26.5 point favorite.
Okay.
What that tells you is the Cavaliers, the guys are playing with 2 broken legs.
Okay. Okay.
Something
Yeah.
like they're just they're a bad team.
Yeah.
So to make it even, we're going to give the Cavaliers, the easiest way to think of it, a 26.5 point head start, right?
Okay.
So before the ball ever gets tipped off, when you see plus 26.5 and minus 26.5 on the spread,
right,
the plus 26.5 team, before the ball's tipped off, they're 26.5 points ahead.
Okay.
That's how you think of it.
And that's a good team to bet on.
Well, not necessarily, because they're so bad. There's a reason the other team's getting a 26.5 point negative against them, right? They're 26 points in the hole when they start.
Understood.
They have to win by 27 points for your bet to win.
Gotcha. So
but they might be so good that they win 127 to 84.
Gotcha. So would it be better to vote on the other thing, the opposite side of that?
Well, that's where we're going to go.
So that's so. I think I'm wrapping my head around this. So the Celtics, they're 26.5 points underdogs. But if I bet on them to beat the spread, so as long as they only lose by 25 points, I win.
It would be the Cavaliers who would be the underdog.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Whoever's got the plus in front of their
right.
Yeah. Yes. If the Celtics won by 23 points,
right,
24 points, 25 points, you win.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
If they won by 26, because you got 26.5.
Right. And they're the negative. They're minus 26.5, and the Cavaliers are
plus
26.5. Oh, the Celtics are plus. Okay. So it's
no, you're right. The Celtics were minus, the Cavaliers were plus.
So if I bet on the Celtics to beat the spread, as long as they only lost by 26 points, I win.
No, now you're thinking of it backwards. The team that is in the minus has to win by that many points. That's the easiest way to remember it.
Team in the minus has to win by X amount of points.
Yeah, so in our example, it was minus 26.5, right?
Yeah.
So they have to win by 27 points.
And the Celtics were plus 26.5.
Celtics were minus 26.5.
Whatever the fuck.
Cavaliers were plus 26.5.
Okay.
In my example.
Right, I just did it backwards. But okay, so if I want to bet on the spread,
the team in the minus has to win by X amount of points.
Gotcha.
You typed it out right. Yes.
Okay. So I'd want to bet on the Cavaliers then if I wanted to play the spread.
No, you can pick either one. So that gets into advanced. So I guess I have to make a general statement.
Okay.
You really want to have a semi-good understanding of the games that you're betting on, right?
Sure, yeah.
So like in your case, what would you do even if the Giants were a 17-point underdog at this point to, let's say, the Eagles at this point in the season? You're still probably going to take the Eagles.
Yeah, absolutely.
My dumbass, here, I'll give you an example.
Okay.
The Texans have been playing like shit.
Right, oh yeah.
Till they roll into Dallas, right?
Yep.
So I didn't bet a lot on it. I only put $10 on it, but I took Dallas plus 7. And so did a lot of other people.
Right.
But Dallas just,
Dallas is Dallas.
They suck on a whole new level.
Dallas is Dallas. Dallas is who we thought they were. Dallas is who we thought they were since Jerry Jones became the owner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, yeah. Yeah, it was horrible. So there's a real life example. I chose the wrong team last night, but I was not confident about my bet, so I didn't bet a lot of money on it.
Gotcha.
So the next column is going to be the over-under.
Over-under.
Super simple. There's going to be a number in that box.
Yep.
Let's use a football example because you and I are more keen on football. So let's say the 49ers are playing the Raiders.
49ers are playing the Raiders.
You're going to see in that box an over, and it'll always be on the top to make it easy for those of you who are, challenged. And the under's always going to be on. I was trying to think of a nice way of saying stupid, but
right, yeah, gotcha.
The over's always on top. The under's always on bottom. Okay?
Yeah.
And listen to me, I'm not even speaking real English. Always on bottom.
So like 10 over 3.
No, what it's going to be is the total number of points in the game. So in our example of the 49ers and the Raiders, the 49ers are traditionally a high-scoring team.
Yes.
So let's say they had the over-under set at 41. That means that both scores combined have to be over 41 for your bet to pay out.
Okay.
Super simple bet.
So both scores combined have to be over 41 points for the bet to pay out.
If you bet the over. If you bet the under, they would have to be under 41 for the bet to pay out.
Gotcha.
Right?
Now, is the number the same? The over/under bets number's the same, meaning it's 41. So they got to they got to be both.
They have to be the same on both sides.
And
otherwise, it wouldn't be fair.
Gotcha.
Yes, that number's always going to be the same. You just have to choose whether it's going to go over that number or under that number for both teams combined, and that's every sport: basketball, baseball. When you see the over/under, hockey, how many goals combined? Yes.
Right. So this weekend's game with the Steelers and the Ravens, which should have been a fucking offensive battle show, ended up being defensive fucking nightmare.
That game made a lot of money for Vegas with people betting the over/under. Yes.
Right.
I'm thinking in the right direction.
Right. So if that was like a 63-point over/under, if I would have said fuck that, I'm going with the under. It doesn't matter who wins. I'm just saying this game, I'm picking the under. Here's $100, and I would have won. But most people would choose the over because they were supposed to be offensive juggernauts, and they didn't. So was that a Vegas upset, basically?
Yep, you're thinking about it exactly right. Okay. Yeah,
gotcha.
So
this is Gambling 101 by Mike Michaels. Just if you're just tuning in. So here is the rules of Gambling 101. Okay, so you don't put up any more money than you want to lose. You never do cocaine prior to gambling. You find a betting platform. We recommend MGM because you're going to refer one of us so we can get $100 free, so can you. There's 3 types of things you're going to wager: win versus loss. We haven't talked that one yet. We talked about spread and we talked about over-under.
Okay, so the last one is called the money line.
The money, is that the win-loss?
Yes.
In
baseball, it's called the run line. I'm not sure if I think it's the money line in hockey too.
Okay.
But I think baseball is the only outlier. They call it the run line. It's the same thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
The money line, ladies and gentlemen, just means exactly what Chris said. You're betting on one team's going to win, one team's going to lose. So you obviously have to pick the winner because it would seem silly if you pick the loser.
Yes. Well.
So on the money line, we're just picking the winner. The problem with the money line is now we're going to talk how you actually gamble.
Okay.
When you look at these 3 boxes, we talked the spread, the over-under, and the money line. I told you there's a number in each box, and I told you what it meant.
Yes.
Underneath it is another number.
Okay.
So in the total of the over-under or the spread, there's going to be a number underneath the number that we talked about. And what that means is, like this example is minus 115.
Okay.
What that means is if that number is in the minus, I have to lay $115 to win $100. Okay?
Say that again.
So if that number is in the minus,
okay,
and this applies to the money line, but it's going to be the only number in the money line.
Okay.
But it's the same concept across all 3 boxes. So let's just talk about it in the money line terms. Okay. Like the Celtics are such a huge favorite, which they're actually only a 6.5 point favorite.
Right.
But that puts them at minus 275 in the money line box. So when you look at that, what that means is you have to give $275 up front to win $100.
Oh, that's stupid.
Well, unless you're so confident that the Celtics are going to win,
right?
They don't have to win by any amount of points. They just have to win by 1, right?
And that's it. Yeah.
So
but you're putting up 275 to win 100.
Sometimes that's good betting, though, and that's advanced betting, and there's reasons why you would do that, and we can discuss that down the road. But that's not something that people. That's one thing I would say. Kind of stay away from that kind of stuff because you can lose your money quick. Right?
Yeah, I can see that.
So that's the reason that they have the spread. Now, when we go over to minus 6.5,
okay,
Now it's minus 115. So if you'll give up 6.5 points,
right,
they'll only require you to lay $115 now to win 100 instead of 275.
Oh, see, that's better.
Right, but you're giving up the points. That's where it all becomes fair, right? Now you're giving up 7 points. They have to win by 7, but you only have to lay 115 to win 100 instead of 275.
Oh.
I traditionally only play spread bets because that's the only way you can make money.
Okay, so with the Celtics Cavalier example, because we talked about the spread, it's the Cavaliers are negative 26.5 points and the Celtics are plus 26.5 points.
Well, we never talked about the plus side of the money line either. We got to finish that.
Yeah.
So we said that we have to lay 275 to win 100 because the Celtics are such a favorite. On the flip side of that, the Cavaliers, Vegas is so sure that they're going to lose that if you'll put up $100 and the Cavaliers somehow win, they'll give you $220.
Oh, I can see that.
But you have to kind of know the ins and outs, because in the way I look at that, on the face of it, the Celtics are probably going to win by 10 points.
Right, because that's more of a what the fuck? It's a higher risk.
Yes. 100%.
Yep, gotcha.
So those are those 3 bets.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that's what all the numbers mean inside the boxes. The number on the top is the number that the team is either getting. If it's plus, they're getting that amount of points, or if it's minus, they have to win by that amount of points. The next box is easy. It's the over-under. It's a total number of points combined, both teams. It's either over or under. The money line is whether somebody wins or loses. Plus means they're going to give you X amount of dollars if you bet 100. And if it's minus, you have to put up that much money to win $100. You'll see on football, like, say the Redskins were playing the Giants without their quarterback and 4 offensive linemen. Okay. The Redskins might be minus 875 in that game. You know?
Yeah.
So you got to watch for stuff like that. That's why I'm saying it's critical that you do a little bit of research. And I know you watch enough football, and that's enough to make those 3 bets.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because gambling is just that. If it was called winning, everyone would do it and no one would have a job. It is gambling.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't even be a thing then, if everybody won.
But on these sites, you can bet as much or little as you want. You can bet, I think the minimum bet is 10 cents. I'm not kidding you.
Okay. Yeah, Jake does it. You and Jake talked about it. Jake does some. He does it right now because he's in the middle of the Crucible in San Diego. For those of you who don't know, Marines go through a Crucible, and it's day 2 of said Crucible.
Gambling is the last thing on his mind.
Yes, although on a positive thing in the football world, Daniel Jones has been benched. Not only has he been benched, he's been relegated to 3rd string. So not only did they bench him for Tommy DeVito, the Italian guy,
Illinois boy,
that elevated the team last year when he came in for 2 games. Daniel Jones is actually not even the backup.
That's awesome.
Drew Lock's the backup. It's awesome, but it's not, because it goes back to the thing. Hard Knocks preseason, the Giants were the team they were following, and the whole drama was about Saquon Barkley. Now the Giants, if you didn't watch that show, you don't know this, but the Giants did offer to match what Barkley's agent said that the Eagles were giving him, and then his agent threw Chicago in the mix to fuck with the Giants, which he's negotiating for his client. No harm in that. But the Giants did try to get Saquon to stay by paying him what Philly agreed to pay him, and he didn't. He chose to leave and go to Philly, albeit. The Giants never should have paid Daniel Jones what they paid him, because historically speaking, the entire time he's been in the NFL, he's led the league in turnovers as a quarterback. When he was in college, he led the leagues in turnovers as a collegiate quarterback. So why they ended up paying him is insane. I will say his agent is a genius, and the dude should get like an Oscar for whatever performance that he did to make Daniel Jones look the way he did. Because the man's going to ride the bench for the rest of the year. He will be cut next year. Go who knows where, if he goes anywhere. I don't know anybody would pick him up. I think he would be a good backup, but I don't think the Giants should cut him. I think they should leave him as a third string or a backup, just for the simple fact they're paying him regardless. Like, you fucked up. You're paying the dude, so you might as well just use him as a backup. Maybe him coming off the bench, he'd be a good player. I don't know, but yeah. So Tommy DeVito gets to start. And the whole reason why Dable said was because of the spark that he instilled in the team last year when he started, but then he didn't stay with them because he had a bad day. And I'll tell you what, if Dable fucking doesn't stay with DeVito, good days, bad days, like he's stuck with Daniel Jones for the entire fucking time, then Dable needs to be removed from coaching, because you can't give somebody who only had 2 starts that legitimately electrified the Giants fan base. So much so he trademarked this little Italian thing. I don't know what the fuck it is. When you put the little whatever
right.
the fuck.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't either. But you got to give the guy. You have to give the guy.
He definitely ignited the fan base and he ignited the team, and I agree. I remember the whole thing last year. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, it got everybody excited again.
And it was cool him being from Illinois. We all paid attention.
And he was an undrafted rookie free agent.
Yeah, it was a cool story.
Exactly. So you have to give him, I think, if they're going to stick with DeVito for the rest of the year, they have to commit to that. They can't knee-jerk and pull him out and put luck in, because that's just going to fuck with everything. You've already monumentally fucked up by paying Daniel Jones. You finally admitted that. You took him out of the ranks of starting quarterback. You're going to have to let DeVito run the rest of the season and let him get the experience and learn. And I think by doing so, he will do nothing but elevate the team. And I think he will surprise everybody. I could be wrong.
And, we almost went through a similar thing here recently in Chicago, too, where I thought it was bullshit. I didn't really talk about it until I let it process for a while. But some of the veterans were calling for Caleb Williams to be benched.
Right.
And I always got to put everything back to the band perspective. It's like nobody ever, if Chris had a bad day and his voice wasn't working out, nobody said, hey, next gig, we're going to let somebody else sing because, you had a bad day or you had a bad couple days or a couple weeks because you were sick. This ain't working out.
Yeah.
Like, for Christ's sake, they had a fucked offensive coordinator who didn't know how to convert a third down in the NFL. He was 4 for 28 or some shit.
Right.
And they got a good offensive coordinator, and all of a sudden he played a good game. He almost beat the Packers for the first time in 10 games. I mean, that's a big almost. I get it. Right. We still lost, but I think the kid's got potential if you give him fucking time. He proved it,
Did your coach get fired?
No, it was the offensive coordinator.
Okay.
And the new guy seems to have his shit together because he only had 5 days to prepare, and he almost beat the Packers. So that's how you run an offense in the NFL. That guy, I think he knows. Well, I don't think he knows what he's doing. Yeah, it was a 1-point game. So I think we're going to be just fine. We need to shore up the offensive line, and we're pretty set because we got a good running back,
right?
And we have receivers, right? We're way ahead of the curve.
Well, and and Caleb Williams, once he gets out of his own way, he'll be a good quarterback. He's a little.
Well, I think he was being hamstrung by this fucking dickhead that didn't know how to call plays in the NFL. Apparently, that's super important. Well, they just proved it by replacing him with somebody that knew what they were doing, and he's like, hey, here's how you make a first down.
Well, that's kind of the thing with Dable calling the plays. Like he was an offensive coordinator in Buffalo, and a quarterback's coach, I think, in Buffalo. So stick with what you know, man. Like, not
everybody. My dad said he looks anything like a coach.
Yeah.
He couldn't pick you out on the sideline. He's like, "Is that guy the coach?" I said, "Yeah, that dopey looking fucker." Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. There's certain people they're not successful when they leave the coordinator role and go to the head coach. There's nothing wrong with that. Kingsbury. I thought he was a good coach in Arizona. He took him to the promised land almost. He did. No, that was Wisenhunt. Wisenhunt took him to the Super Bowl. Kingsbury had a couple good seasons, and then the Cardinals fired him. And now he's in. Is he in Chicago? Where's Kingsbury? He's offensive coordinator for somebody.
That name sounds familiar, so he very well might be here. I don't know all of our coaches, but you just brought up an interesting point. And you and I have talked about this, and we've touched this subject, and my dad and I talk about this a lot.
We should have your dad on the show.
I would love to, and we'll make that happen as soon as I get this studio set up the way it's supposed to be, where I can have guests too. But yeah, that's cool. I would love for him to do it too. We'll do a sports talk show. But one thing that him and I have talked about is when you come from a lineage like the Harbaughs or the Mannings, isn't it amazing how that DNA just carries through that family like that? Harbaugh goes from Michigan, national champion, to the Chargers first year, and I knew he was going to turn that fucking team around. Yeah. Him and Herbert are like attached at the fucking hip. He loves the kid. You know, he's like, I love coaching him. He does.
He loves quarterbacks.
And it makes sense, just like I like guitar players, right? I mean, some of us are biased.
Right. Kingsbury's in Washington. That's why I was thinking Chicago, because it's same wheelhouse of colors and look and shit like that. But he's in Washington,
and he's kicking ass.
And and he is, because you have a rookie quarterback.
And Jaden Daniels is what you like to call a fucking phenom, because if you look at the difference between him and what Caleb Williams is doing, Caleb's doing the best he can. Jaden's out there looking like he's been doing it for 20 years, you know?
Yeah.
With a broken rib, by the way, or bruised or whatever it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And that fucking throw he did in that one game I think it was against the Jets.
It was against the Bears.
Oh, the Bears. Oh, it was fucking unreal, dude.
I was like, thanks for that. But yeah, it was great.
But it was, it wasn't, that's just football, man.
Our guy fucked up.
Yeah. You know,
our guy fucked up bad.
Rookie. Hey, he's talking to the crowd over here. And, hey, dude, there's a play going on over here. Oh, shit, my bad. Yeah. But that's another
before
one
I forget, there's a meme going around Netflix that's got, if Netflix had run that play that you posted on our Facebook page, and right when the ball hits where it's going to be caught, the little loading thing comes up. It was great. Right on. It's a great little meme going around.
Kind of like the meme with the Seinfeld episode where you can take the reservation, but you don't.
I love that one too.
Hold the reservation.
I don't think you do.
You do. There's like 5 great bits on the Seinfeld history, and that's one of them. That's like the first 3 seasons. Just fucking don't watch them. Then you get to the 4th season. On the
you know me. I'm like,
oh no, I am too. But I just think the first 3 seasons are just kind of like, they're struggling. They're trying to find their thing. Kind of like The Office. The first 2 seasons were based on the English Office. So by the time they get to the 3rd season, it's good, and they 4, 5, 6, and all of a sudden, fucking shit starts changing at 7, and it just sucks. Like once Michael left, you got to stop. You got to stop the show. It just doesn't make sense without Michael Scott, and Seinfeld is Seinfeld. That show because of Michael Richards and Jason Alexander and Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
It was the best supporting cast probably ever.
Oh, yeah, because Jerry Seinfeld can't act worth fucking shit. He couldn't fall out of a boat and hit water for his life. He doesn't. He's not. He's just not. If you look at the first 3 seasons, man, he's not. There's not funny moments with him. Every now and then, there's little bits. There's bits, right? It's like the one phone call where he gets a phone call and everybody's there, and the solicitor,
I like the solicitor, and I'll tell you another one that will change your mind.
Okay.
Remember the Clapco fucking 3000 lock bit or whatever it was when Kramer left the door unlocked? And he's like, why didn't you get an alarm or whatever? He said, because I bought the Clapco 9000 or whatever it was, and it only requires one thing, the door. Must be closed. Because Kramer left the door open and he got robbed.
Yeah.
That was a great Jerry bit. Okay, I agree with, on the surface of it, what you're saying, I agree 100%. He was the worst part of the show, but I think he would tell you he was the worst part of the show.
Yeah, he's not stupid. He wasn't stupid at all. He knows his limitations, and right. I mean, he made his bank. He's set for the rest of his life.
Kramer became an icon. There's no
Kramer
question.
did become an icon. Kramer kind of fucked up, sticking his foot in his mouth with some jokes that weren't very popular, but that's
might be a little cocaine involved. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, don't do cocaine before you want to do anything important. That's even more so than the rule. Don't do cocaine before you want to do anything important, because you're going to say something or do something incredibly fucking stupid.
No cocaine for you, okay? We're not at Tony Montana. Chichi, get the yayo. Okay, we're not doing that. Okay, we're not doing that. It's not a thing. Okay? It's just not a thing. What else do we want? What have you screenshotted lately? Because I know you like to screenshot shit.
I got to ask you one very important question that I wanted to ask you while we were talking about the Tyson fight, but I didn't want to ruin your flow because I really liked your answer a lot.
Oh, thank you.
Was that Dave's girlfriend that was fighting from Ireland there in that battle?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Just curious.
Yeah.
Just curious. Dave flew over the pond, you know.
Yeah, Dave. Good old Dave. Dave's not here. Man.
I do have.
Okay, good.
I do have some good ones for you.
Let's talk screenshots, man. Because we're getting close to. Chris has to jump off and get ready for the long evening. So let's talk screenshots.
Yeah, let's see. I'll find a good one here.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Mike takes random screenshots of things that, in past episodes they've been quite relevant and rather humorous.
I thought this one was entertaining. It says, as you get older, your brain begins to stop getting pleasure from new music, causing your musical taste to stagnate. That's a scientific fact for most people. Not Chris and I, because we listen to music every day, but...
Right. It gets stagnant.
That's what it says.
Interesting.
John Tyler fathered 15 children, most of any U.S. president.
Who?
John Tyler, the 10th United States president, fathered 15 children.
Wow.
The most of any president. He took office in 1841 after Harrison's death. Tyler was the first president to marry while in office. I always wondered if everyone was married when they became president. They were not. He married while he was in office. And his large family remains a unique part of his legacy. So,
damn.
That answered one of my questions I've always had. Were all the presidents married? They were not.
Yeah. That's all the president's horses and all the president's men couldn't put Humpty together again?
Yes.
Right on.
Also a true story.
It's interesting. It's not as funny as the personal massager, though, but it's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure I have one as funny as the personal massager. That one might take a little bit. So here's some crazy historic dates regarding women that I found interesting.
Okay.
In 1900, women gained property and wage rights. In 1910, they could wear pants.
Oh.
In 1920, white women could vote. Let's make that very clear. Okay. In 1924, Native American women became citizens in their own country.
Okay.
1963, women gained equal pay rights, which is still questionable.
And let's just be honest, people, that pretty much was the downtrodden of our society. That's what changed everything.
1965, black women could vote. 1969, women were allowed to initiate divorce from their husbands. That was a key one for me. I didn't know that it didn't go both ways for.
I didn't either. That's interesting.
Wasn't until 1969. 1972, a woman could get birth control without a man. You had to have your husband's or your father's approval.
Really?
Yeah, till 1972.
Huh. Wow.
1974. This is getting to 1974. I'm already 1 year old.
Right.
Women could buy a home and get a credit card without a man. So that's why, back in the old days, they referred to women who weren't married as spinsters, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's because they couldn't own anything legally.
Wow.
1988, women could own their own business without a man. 1988, now I'm in high school.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in high school too.
These were the ones I found fascinating. I don't remember all this. 1993, women gained legal protection against marital rape. 1993. I'm 20 years old.
Yeah.
So you could rape your wife until 1993 legally.
That's crazy.
Yep.
So here's a funny thing. I just Googled outrageous ads. So you got to picture this. It's I'm sitting in a chair. Okay. The picture's taken from behind me. My wife's sitting on my lap, my hands up like this because I'm getting ready to spank her ass. Swear to God. I'll put this on our page. It says, if your husband ever finds out you're not store testing for fresher coffee, it's an ad for Chase and Sanborn coffee.
Okay.
If he discovers you're still taking chances on getting flat, stale coffee. What the fuck did that say? I don't know. I'll put on the thing, but basically, he's going to spank her ass because she's not getting the right coffee. There's also Go ahead.
There's a famous story that Rogan always tells about Sean Connery on national television talking to like Diane Sawyer or something back in the day, saying, every now and then your woman gets out of line, you smack her around a little bit. It's a true story. Rogan plays it all the time.
It is a true story. Sean Connery beat the fuck out of his wives.
That's terrible.
Here's another ad for Oland's Export Ale, and I'll put this on our page. It's a chick.
Okay.
It's a chick holding a glass. It's filled with beer, and the tagline is, "Suddenly, she never looked prettier," and she's looking through the beer. The introduction of beer goggles, boys and girls. Like, straight up. And there's some kind of looks like a tobacco ad from like the 20s. It says, "I'm a lucky girl," and the innuendo in the ad is she's topless. Like being yeah, this is awesome. Okay, so these are good ones because tobacco company, right? 15 most outrageous tobacco ads that would be illegal today. Viceroy's filter the smoke. As your dentist, I would recommend Viceroy's.
Isn't that crazy?
Shit you not.
Doctors used to recommend.
Yeah, nose, throat, and accessory organs not adversely affected by smoking. Chesterfields. First such reports ever published about the cigarette. By Chesterfield, much milder. And then you got the Lucky Strike thing going on the sexiness. The chick's got a tank top on, red things going over her shoulder. I do prefer Lucky Strike cigarettes because tasting removes dangerous irritants that cause throat irritation and coughing.
True story. That's the first cigarette I ever smoked.
Okay. Cigarettes are like women. The best ones are thin and rich.
That's not true. Rich, okay.
Oh, shit. What happened to my screen?
I don't want them to have to be...
that was weird.
Super skinny.
I hit a weird button and my entire screen went up to the top because I'm screenshotting that one. Blow in her face and she'll follow you anywhere. Cigarette ad. Virginia Slims equally comes with no apron strings attached, and the chick's basically behind the dude because Virginia Slims will welcome a long way, baby.
Oh, those were totally targeted to women, no question.
Mm-hmm. All over America, more scientists and educators smoke Kent with a micronite filter than any other cigarette.
Even to our day, remember fucking Joe Camel?
Uh-huh.
I had Joe Camel everything.
And here's an ad for cigars, and kid you not, they're two pubescent kids sitting on a step smoking. Mm-hmm.
All the cool kids did it back then, dude.
Cherish those lovely arms. Reach for lucky instead. And she's holding pearls. And then be happy, go lucky. It's a chick again.
Were you surrounded by smokers growing up?
My mother smoked, and I had a couple neighbors that smoked, and that was about it.
So listen, man.
Yeah.
My grandma smoked. My other grandma smoked. My grandpa smoked. My dad smoked.
Yeah.
Both my aunts smoked. My uncle smoked.
Wow.
It was like at family, like not reunions, but like holidays and shit.
Yeah.
If it was wintertime, you were in bad shape because, the house is all closed up in Illinois in the winter. You don't have the windows open. Right. And there's like 27 fucking people in there smoking because my dad's uncle smoked, his wife smoked, his cousin smoked.
Okay. So.
Oh, yeah. A lot of smokers.
So here's one. Burger King, when they had the BK Super 7-incher sub, it'll blow your mind away. And kid you not, there's your chick with a side profile with her mouth open, and the BK Super 7-incher is going towards her mouth. It'll blow your mind away.
There's no subliminal advertising there, right?
And then in Fat Shack, a company called Fat Shack, 4 inches has never been so satisfying. And she's eating something that's 4 inches. Okay.
Kudos to that marketing director, by the way.
Oh, cute but wild. Shop our rabbit now. You know what that's about.
Can't even imagine.
I can't even imagine. Oh, here's another one with a woman. Yes, 7-Up. The chick's bending over. Need alley-oop? It's yours with this quick, fresh lift. 7-Up. So the chick's bending over in front of the guy who's got his hand on his face like this. Oh, my. A Gucci magazine has a chick on her knees. What the fuck? I can't tell. She's got her hand in. Well, I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't even know how to tell what that is. It's so weird. I have no fucking idea. I'll send this to you, and you can look at that and see like what the fuck is this? Because it's hard to tell what the fuck this is, man. But you know those ads back in the day for colognes and shit. So racy and so.
Here's a good one for you.
Sexual innuendos.
A funny one.
Okay. The
difference between booze and weed.
Yeah.
5 drunk people will start a fight. 5 stoned people will start a band.
I thought you were going to say we're going to start dinner. The same thing.
That too.
Yeah.
I always tell people the only danger is the fucking local McDonald's.
Right. I tested outrageous fragrances, and it's better than sex. That was legit. That's an ad.
Oh my God. That's got to be in Europe, right?
I don't know. I just Googled it, man. All I did was Google ads, controversial ads, and these are things that popped up. Oh, feel this big. Some chick's got a banana. Make your penis bigger with these 5 sex positions. She will go crazy. Feel this big, and she's holding a banana. Okay. Yeah. Ads are funny, man. They push the envelope.
Here's a good one. I'll leave.
Cheap enough to say fuck it, I'll go, and fuck it as PHUKET. Air Asia. Air Asia. Fuck it, I'll go.
That's an ad?
Yeah.
Give it up to the Asians.
Yep.
You see this?
Oh, you showing me something? Okay. That's a skull.
Can you see the skull?
Yeah.
It says, feast your eyes on this jaw-dropping relic at the Museum of Gold in Lima, Peru. A skull that tells a captivating tale of Inca ingenuity dating back to 1,600 years. This isn't just any old skull. It's a testament to daring surgery known as tree panning, where the Inca boldly cut open the skull and sealed it with gold. The fact that the patient lived to tell the tale is evidenced by the healed bone. Challenges everything you thought you knew about ancient medicine. The Incas were not just conquerors. They were pioneers of medical practices that would leave modern science in the dust.
Oh,
like we wouldn't even think of doing that today.
Yeah, poke out your...
But that person lived because their bone healed over.
And then they got gold in their skull.
Whatever they did to whatever that person was suffering from, they alleviated it, and that person lived to tell the tale. They can tell the way the bone healed. Like they were as normal as the day is long, and we have no idea to this day how they accomplished that. After I read that, I watched about 2 hours of YouTube documentary on that same subject. We're like, we wouldn't even attempt to do that right now. We have no idea what they were doing, but it happened, and that person absolutely lived.
That's awesome. Modern technology back in the day that was so advanced they didn't write it down because because the Mayans thought the world was going to end, so they had no reason to write shit down.
Well, we think they thought the world was going to end, but now more people think that they knew that was just a shift in time, right? Something happened at that point, in their opinion.
So let me understand.
Or they got tired of making calendars.
So they thought that they knew that the world was going to end, but at the same time they thought maybe it was just a calendar thing that was going to end, so they had to change the concept of time, so therefore we understood that time wasn't going to end, but even though they thought it was, that's why they made the Mayan calendar, and they said, well, there'll be a shift in something, and that shift could have been the polarities with the Earth and the functionality of how it's moving up and down and right and left, following the moon, not the sun.
I think so. I'm going to need you to repeat that.
Not going to happen.
I fucking love it. Or In the most simplistic terms, they just got tired of making fucking calendars.
They got tired of making calendars.
We ain't making no more calendars.
I don't want to make a calendar anymore. I just go to
Do you know that I think they were the ones that played a game where the winning team got sacrificed? Imagine that. Wrap your head around that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was an honor to be sacrificed, though, right? You were being sacrificed for the gods. There was like, that was pride, man. Your family, your legacy was, hey, Uncle Johnny.
So you're the one getting ready to be sacrificed.
Right.
You can't tell me them fuckers weren't standing there going, I don't know if this is a good idea or not. Now, come on.
But think about it, though.
I agree with you. Yes. It was a different mindset.
Yes. And so that's kind of like the fucks that ISIS and shit, right? Their whole belief is Allah and they go fucking blow up planes and shit. Not going to go into that, much fucking assholes that do so. But their belief is that their entire family will cherish that, and the ISIS fuckheads will, take care of their family till forever and ever and ever type bullshit. It's the brainwashing, man. It's just the constant fucking bullshit that people have. That's the thing. Weak people need to be told how to live and what to do and where to go and all that kind of jazz.
What do we preach on this show all the time?
Yeah.
Think for yourself. You got a brain. This is your life. Don't let somebody else tell you how to live it, right?
Yeah. No, exactly. Exactly. There was something that came out that I called bullshit on. I was wrong, and I'll admit that. I follow this person on Facebook that's named God, and she's got to be a chick and a totally liberal, and
she's named God?
Yeah, she's just an asshole. She's a comedian, I think. But I follow her because, it's why not? It's funny shit every now and then. But she'd posted on there some research that came out that 54% of Arizonans read below the 6th grade level. And I was like, you just stop spinning your bullshit. And a friend of mine who follows her too, unbeknownst to me, chimed in. He's like, no, it's true.
Is it because of the reservation?
I don't know, dude, but over half of Arizona reads at a 6th grade level or below.
You've been to the reservations. It's pretty sad.
I've driven through them. I've not been to them. I driven on the way to Casa Grande. If I make a wrong turn, there's 2 rights. If I make the first right instead of the second right, I end up going through a reservation, and it's
Carrie and I stopped on the way back in the ones in northern Arizona.
Yeah,
and it was pretty sad, man. I mean, these people were living in squalor, and I don't know how many of those people there are, but they're definitely bringing your average down because they can't be getting that great of an education, which is a fucking travesty because they were here first. The fact we call them Indians is just, it would be hilarious if it wasn't so fucking offensive. They're as far from India as they can be.
Right. Yeah.
They were called Indians by a moron that landed in the fucking Bahamas that never set foot on the United States that we still celebrate today for whatever demented reason because we're idiots.
He discovered America. I mean, that's, right or wrong.
Bahamas.
Right, but see, and Nick and I have talked about this too, like
fuck Columbus.
And
he was a slave trader and a rapist and a fucking...
they all were back then. They all were. That's the thing. You have to remember.
But he was horrible to his own crew too. The guy was just a jackass.
Well, right, but everybody back then, what was the life expectancy? 35 was you expected to live, right? 35, 36. You weren't living past 40 or 50, right?
Sell me on Columbus.
Right. No, I'm not selling on Columbus at all. I'm just saying that everybody back...
He didn't discover America, though. We have to back up to that.
Oh, yeah. And I'm just talking more about the time itself. Neither one of us were there, but life expectancy was a hell of a lot shorter. It wasn't uncommon that you're dead before you're 40. So you had to kind of be... It's all about me, just to survive.
Okay, I'll give you that.
That's the whole point I'm making. It's not. I don't condone these an ass. I don't condone the shit he did at all. But all the way up to where we started revolutionizing and the Industrial Revolution started changing the scope of the world. Right.
I'm just saying, as modern, sophisticated people, the fact that we fucking still anybody calls them Indians is fucking crazy.
No, I agree with that for sure. I absolutely agree with that.
It's fucking. I mean, when I learned the whole travesty of that whole situation, right down to the fact that some dumbass thought he was in a different fucking part of the world, and that's why we call them Indians.
Yeah,
it's like, they're Native Americans now for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I guess my point was then I saw their little gift shops they had there, and then you drive through the reservation and you see how they're living, and it's like, fuck, man, that's not cool at all.
It's not cool, but it goes back to they don't take care of their own. Like they have gaming, they have casino money now, right? Like big time, and it's just like every government. The top stay rich,
well,
the bottom stay poor.
That's definitely something. Don't let us forget when we have Tony on here because,
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He's got an insight to all that. And I would really like to hear his opinion on why on the surface of it, what you're saying, I would completely agree with, but we don't know the whole story. And that's one thing that I would like, the people that are listening every week, I'd like them to hear that part of it because maybe he would say, here's why.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because on the face of it, yes, they do have casino money and everybody gets a check every month, right? Yeah. And there are the ones, we saw them at our gigs, right? A lot of them came to the gigs and they were sitting there getting pissed up fucking drunk because they couldn't drink on the reservation. And I'm sure they have a lot of the same problems that we have with drugs and alcoholism and blah, blah, blah. And, but I would like to hear what he has to say as far as, his mother, I think, is 100% Native American. So
yeah. I'm down because it's all about learning that, especially from that perspective. But it poses the question of they have so much money through casinos and stuff because Arizona has, I think, 10 of them now. There's so much money. Where's it going?
Right.
Where's it going?
And that's what I would like to know.
Yeah, because I don't think it's going to the people, and if it does, it's going to a select few pyramid scheme type thing, But I don't know. So we definitely have to. We can do some research and then we can talk to Tony about that. So
that's a good one.
Right on. All right, I gotta bounce.
Okay, I'm gonna send you that link, and whenever you're ready to deposit,
we'll do it tomorrow, dude.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, fellas. All right, brother. Have a good day.
Everybody take care of everybody else.
Thank you for
listening.
Don't
let the bad days win.
Don't let the bad days win.
Yes, thank you for listening.
And remember, Tyson and Paul wasn't rigged. It was real.
As far as you know.
We'll see you later. Hey, don't forget, episode 55 drops tomorrow.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Set up, ready to go.
I'm on it.
Peace out.
Love you, brother.
Love you too, man.
Peace.